Oh. Trying to look something up. Apologies.
You know, Dan, he is always after the most current information that can be charted.
Yes.
Can we watch ourselves while this is happening on our phones?
Yes.
Is that weird?
I can
on a delay.
What
It's
would
like
happen?
Scream.
All right.
Yeah. I always wonder if that's what Ed's doing when he's got his phone propped up. I
Just
know
watching
he's drawing.
himself on the phone. Yeah.
Never
Judging
tried this
himself in
before.
real time.
Yes.
I'm going through the looking glass. Keep going, Danielle.
All right, well, we have got Dan. We have got Emma. Hello. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. And we have got Spencer, who's watching a tiny Spencer, while the monitor over there has also got another Spencer.
Whoa, I'm live.
There's so much Spenny.
You can just see yourself everywhere.
That is fantastic. All right, so we've got a couple things we're going to talk about today. Super excited. We're going to talk about some scary, spoopy clowns. We are going to... Spoopy clowns. The spoopy ones. We're going to talk about some Saved by the Bell. But first, oh yeah, baby, we got it. You want it. The Mandalorian deets. Heck yeah, says Ryan. This is via Entertainment Weekly. Entertainment Weekly gave us more info on the setting and characters filling the post-Empire Galaxy and Star Wars' first live-action series, The Mandalorian, or, as I called him in a tweet, and as apparently as they call him on set, the Mando.
Okay.
They refer to him on set as the Mando. I thought I was doing a dumb tweet. It turns out I had my eargraph.
Yes. Inside scoop.
That's true. That's what it is, Danielle. Is you're so tapped into like the current goings on in the world of entertainment that it came into your brain by osmosis.
I just absorbed it. So they've revealed a few details, mostly about settings, some new characters that are really exciting. So directly from Entertainment Weekly, this show is set after the downfall of the Galactic Empire in Return of the Jedi, but before Force Awakens. For now, chaos, I love when they describe these things so theatrically. Chaos reigns across the universe, especially in the outer reaches of the galaxy where a Mandalorian bounty hunter stalks his prey for diminishing returns.
Cool.
It's very dramatic.
It is. It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
If I were, and this is, I don't know anything about The Mandalorian, just if I were Disney, I would not put the phrase diminishing returns in anything.
Yeah.
Not that this is, it's just, you're just asking for it.
Yeah,
You're just
begging.
asking for it.
It's very true.
The stakes couldn't be lower in the outer rim of the galaxy.
And I'm looking forward to the show. It's just a pre-PR. Whoever approved that language wasn't really plugged into.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be like, I mean, I get what they were going for, which is, man, it's tough out there.
It's tougher than bounty hunters.
Exactly, like times aren't what they used to, jobs don't pay what they used to, which seems surprisingly reminiscent of real life. But yeah, diminishing returns.
The Mando tries to recapture the thrill of what Star Wars used to be.
I think that's an EW writer who's just like low-key reviewing.
Yes.
Like low-key putting Kathleen Kennedy on blast.
Yeah, they're inflicting their own opinions on the state of Star Wars into their writing.
Exactly.
All that being said, this is my most anticipated Star Wars thing for the rest of the year. I am more excited about this than I am about Rise of Skywalker.
Me too.
Just because I love Mandalorians. I love Dave Filoni, who is directing the first episode and is basically the showrunner on the show, who did both Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. I think that obviously, like, he is the person that kind of made the Mandalorians into what they are in terms of canon today, so I'm really excited to see him get more into that. I am excited for the general populace who has not watched Clone Wars or Rebels, people who are like, it's animated, it's for children, I don't want to watch it, are finally going to understand why Mandalorians are so freaking cool.
I got a Mando question for you.
Yes.
Emma. You sound like you know your way around a Mando. What's the cooling situation like in that? They're spending a lot of time in the desert.
They don't ever really address that, but it's made out of like a specific alloy that is just like
antibacterial, antifungal.
Antibacterial.
It looks
it's
like
like a wicking kind of situation.
Gamey. I mean, they're in the desert.
Swampy
and he's not taking his armor off.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else is in like a tunic, a space tunic, and he's just. Well, yeah, I mean, that's
But I
a
mean,
little
they're
lighter.
all dressed for warm weather.
When they're at the farm.
There are cold deserts.
It's cold at night.
Yeah, it's cold at night.
That's true. There you go.
So he only hunts at night.
That doesn't look like a desert. That looks like a autumnal, perhaps.
Yeah, it looks
You're
like
right.
maybe Big Bear.
Look at how chill he is.
That's like an Ewok bed and breakfast out in the sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is fascinating to me. Is so you cast. I mean, all actors are hot, but you cast Hottie Von Hotzelot, Pedro Pascal. He's like never gonna take the helmet off.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be that sexy voice and a lot of body work.
Well, when he finally does, and he will, but
mean,
maybe
what a
not till the
reveal.
end. But yeah, what a reveal. What a reveal that will be. He's just like...
It's like when you see people at the smoking section at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this was a mistake. Why didn't I dress as Han Solo? Oh my god.
All right, so we can expect that the Mandalorian will travel from system to system in a very boots-on-the-ground tale without any major legacy characters, which is probably the best thing that I've heard them say.
Yeah.
I'm like Andrew Lincoln at the door of the Mandalorian right now with a sign that says, "To me, you're perfect." Because right now I have like everything. It seems like every other piece of Star Wars has some kind of like baggage attached to it.
Yeah.
Like this trilogy, the original, it's like whatever's going on with that, I don't know. And then the spin-off movies are like, I don't know what's going on with that. And the Mandalorian right now for me, as a fan of Star Wars, is like the one little thing that right now is just like perfect.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anything about it.
I think it is. I think it's really poised in this really great position of being able to explore a lot of the stuff in Star Wars that does exist in new canon, that's in the novels or in the comics or in the animated series, but like there's not as much expectation. It's just people being excited that have gone out of their way to consume that additional media to go, oh my goodness, I'm going to get to see this in live action. And like, I know some stuff about the show, you guys, that I cannot talk about, that I'm like so freaking excited about.
But the more I hear that it relies on expanded canon and deep lore stuff, the less interesting.
But this is the thing is that that what we've seen in Star Wars thus far. So for example, I'll take Rogue One. Mm-hmm. So Rogue One had some Easter eggs for Star Wars Rebels in it. Now, if you don't watch Star Wars Rebels, you didn't like. It wasn't necessary to understand what was going on. That's something that I think they do extremely well in the Star Wars films, and I think will also translate into the Mandalorian live action series, which is that those things will be included, but it's not something that you're going to need to deeply understand.
Right.
By and large, it will very much be its own thing, but it's going to be able to touch on some stuff that, you know, fans of that more expanded kind of stuff are excited to see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the opposite of you, Spencer. I actually get less interested the deeper we go into characters that we already know about. The more I'm just like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And that's why I liked Rogue One, because Rogue One, of all of the movies that have been made, was the one that you could watch having never seen Star Wars before. And I think it would still hold up, and it doesn't rely necessarily. It's like this sort of side quest. You know, yes, there's the guys from the Tatooine canteen and stuff that they bump into, which is whatever. Yeah. But you could watch the movie and not have to know. Whereas, like even with Solo, it's just like Darth Maul shows up. You're like, what?
Right. Whereas I think they handled it really well in Rogue One, where Saw Gerrera was an existing character. He was from Clone Wars, the animated series, but it was so not necessary for you to know that to fully, understand and enjoy him as a character in Rogue One.
Right. I'd never seen a frame of
of course.
Clone Wars. So I know familiar with Saw Gerrera whatsoever, and it didn't matter because the movie established him enough, and it worked.
Yeah.
So I hope that this is the path they're going, because I don't care. The other stuff, I'm just like, you've told me so much about it already.
Yeah, you're like, I don't, if there is a Skywalker in this, I'm out.
I'm Sky walking away. And so
I'll take the aunt and uncle moisture farm. Oh, they're dead by now.
They're super dead.
They're super dead. That's how Luke felt.
Yeah.
Bummer.
All right, weird spaceman. I'll go into the galaxy with you.
I have nothing left. So we did get to hear about some new characters and details about that. One of them is going to be IG-11, an assassin droid voiced by director Taika Waititi. He is everywhere. And so he also helmed the season 1 finale, they said. And so he spent a lot of time working to perfect the voice, which is, it's going to sound like Taika, though, right?
New Zealand robot.
Because why would you cast Taika Waititi if you're not going to let him Taika Waititi?
Yeah.
Apparently he said the voice is somewhere between Siri and HAL 9000.
Perfect.
Great. The droid is very innocent and naive and direct, doesn't know about sarcasm, doesn't know how to lie. It's like a child with a gun.
I'm so excited. I mean, description aside.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, I might have chosen a different way to describe it, but the message gets across.
Right.
It's like a Roomba with a knife.
There we go. A Roomba with a
There we go.
knife. Knife Roomba. And then
Well,
we're
duct
also...
tape. I can give you a Roomba with a knife.
Don't give the Roombas ideas.
That's going to be our next movie fights champion.
Roomba with a knife.
Roomba with a knife.
Beats cucumber.
It would.
It would. It would have no choice. So we've also got Haywire's Gina Carano as Cara Dune, a rebel shock trooper turned mercenary. And I'm so excited for this. We don't even have to put... I appreciate that they put Rocky's Carl Weathers, but I think he's earned just Carl
Listen,
Weathers.
I think we all
Cinema's
know
Carl Weathers.
Universal's Carl Weathers.
Universe. I was going to say America's, but then I was like, is he Canadian?
Yes.
So he's coming in as these names: Grief Karga. Shut up.
Solid Star Wars.
Yes.
Solid.
It's just
solid.
great
I
Star
could not
Wars
have made
name.
up a better Carl Weathers Star Wars name. than
Grief
Karga.
Yeah, and I did get to see him in the 10 minutes of the show that we saw during the Mandalorian panel at Star Wars Celebration, and I'm ready. I'm ready to fully embrace some Carl Weathers.
So he's going to be the leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
Noted Weathers, in the Star Wars world, you find yourself walking a different way, you behave differently, you relate to what's around you differently because it's not a contemporary world. Man, what a treasure.
I mean,
what an
he's
actor.
so well spoken. I interviewed him one time on a carpet for the live action Attack on Titan film. Why he was there? No idea, but he certainly was. And yeah, he's so eloquent and he's so like game for whatever he's doing. I mean, who better to cast in Star Wars, really?
There is none. There's none better. Except, maybe, Breaking Bad's Giancarlo Esposito as Moff Gideon.
Cara Dune is like, whatever.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
But like Grief Karga and Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that is a former governor under the Galactic Empire whose world fell apart when those pesky rebels blew up the second Death Star. And here is the thing. This is one word out of one sentence that one actor said that has made the internet lose their mind. But what does Moff Gideon really want? Says Esposito. This guy is going to be a big player because he has an idea of how to keep order. And that one word... Order. Now everyone is like, are we going to get to see the beginnings of the First Order? Yeah.
Well, I had a sub question. Is Moff...
You know the internet.
Is Moff a title?
I think it's a title, yeah.
Grand Moff.
Yeah, Moff is a title.
And Great Grand Moff.
I would call her Grammy Moff.
Gram Grams. Okay, just checking because like, wow, what are the odds? Two Moffs, one universe.
It's like Sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Moff Murrell.
It's
Murrell.
like a ranking in the military.
Okay, a Moff.
Yeah.
A Moff.
I'm working towards
You know.
Moff. I'm Lieutenant Moff right now, but someday.
Junior Moff.
Vice Moff.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This could be the First Order. I thought that the article itself speculated about that. Did I hallucinate that?
They did a little bit, but it's literally everyone is basing it just on him saying that one word. So it could be that we're going to see some rumblings.
Here's the thing: is that I feel like we all know where it's going. We know that the First Order is going to happen eventually. Do we see some like former Empire cells basically starting to come together to create sort of the beginnings of the First Order, much like, you know, when we're in Rogue One, that's like at the point that all the rebel cells and the skirmish with the Empire in the first place all kind of came together to really create the Rebel Alliance. You know, I think, sure. I mean, anything we see in this in terms of like, we're reestablishing the Empire we know is the First Order, so...
Boo.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want him to be a full-on rogue.
Yeah.
I have my own First Order, and it's the Moff Gideon gang. The Gideon gang. Yeah. I don't want to see baby Donald Gleason running around or whatever. No, I don't want to see Snoke. No, stop it. No, stop it. Stop it. No, stop it.
Just Gus Fring, which is also a good Star Wars
It's
name.
a huge galaxy. It's a huge galaxy. Not every story has to be connected to the same 15 people.
Yeah.
Go have fun somewhere else, please. I beg you.
Go have fun with
everything
grief.
happens on Tatooine, Dan.
The only planet in all of Star Wars. No, I'm here for the Gideon gang. I'm telling you.
Gideon gang.
All right, so No. I think that's great, but it's so. Do the people involved in the show kind of influence your expectations of it? Because to me, it definitely sounds like this is going to be funny.
Yeah, I mean,
a little funny, or at least have touches of humor. I don't think it's going to be full on, like, but I think we can get something that's a little closer to, say, like a Firefly than.
Really?
I think it's going to be a little
Jon Favreau, Taika,
grittier than that, I think, but there is definitely an element of humor. And I mean, again, I've seen about 10 minutes of it, but it wasn't lacking humor entirely. So, yeah, I think that it's going to be a good, like, gunslinging Western. I hope that, obviously I want there to be a through line, but I wouldn't hate it if it was a little bit more episodic with just kind of like your key episodes that really advance the story, kind of like a Cowboy Bebop, which is like space Western, but yeah, there's a story, but by and large, the episodes can stand on their own because you have this really fun, universe to play in, and you have this great team of writers and directors working on this show. So, like, I would love to see people be able to kind of bring their own individuality to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always comic relief. Probably Taika Waititi is the armed murder baby or whatever. But, like, Giancarlo Esposito, I'm sure he's funny in person, but he's never made me laugh in his roles. Pedro Pascal.
He's made me laugh in stuff. There's stuff that he's done.
Werner Herzog. Maybe he's joking. I don't
really want some humor out of Werner Herzog.
I just believe Werner Herzog.
Whose birthday it is today, along with Dan's grandmother. Happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday, Mima. It's my grandmother's birthday.
And Werner Herzog.
And Werner Herzog.
I want Werner Herzog to wish your grandmother a happy birthday.
His birthday really matter. Yes. The stars are billions of years old. Our lives on this world are but a blink of an eye of the galaxy.
Maybe the war was inside us. We reached the stars only to discover the war was already there.
Do we have any further Mando thoughts?
I want someone to die in an Irish store in every episode, and I want every episode to be like South Park in the first few seasons, where you're wondering who will be killed in an Irish store and how. All right, that's it.
Sounds good.
Dan's final thoughts.
Dan's final thoughts. All right. Once again, welcome to SJU. We are on Fandom. Make sure to like and subscribe. Smash that bell. Ryan?
The bell.
We were going to give you a camera, but now, no.
Karen.
No! Stop it!
He's being shamed.
We've ruined the mystique.
Behind this curtain. It's scary.
You could have been anyone. Now you're just Ryan.
Now you're just Ryan. Who wants Ryan?
Oh,
you're great, Ryan.
The
Never
internet
change.
does. They're very excited.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot of comments about how excited they are. They got to see Ryan.
That's a huge reveal.
We should have just shown his feet. That's
Show feet, please.
We would have definitely gotten a lot of likes and views for that.
It's a different.
I didn't mean like that.
But the internet would. It doesn't matter what.
Doesn't matter.
He's wearing Skechers. No one's turned on by a Sketcher.
You don't know.
Functionality, man. People like that.
People do like functionality. All right, so as we mentioned, we're going to be starting to do something where we highlight a different organization every month so that y'all can get to see some of the good that is out there in the world. And so for this month, September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, so we are highlighting an organization working with a highly at-risk portion of our population. Stack Up brings veterans and citizens together through a shared love of video gaming. Stack Up serves U.S. and allied service members, veterans, and civilians to assist in crisis intervention, suicide prevention, and issues concerning mental health through gaming and community. So visit stackup.org for more information. We're very, very proud to partner up with them.
They're awesome.
In this.
We've met them
freaking
several
awesome.
times at Comic-Con or the last couple years, and they do great work. Awesome people, awesome group. So please support them. Check them out.
Totally. And there is plenty of Fandom and Screen Junkies goodness to check out. Make sure to watch Charting with Dan. We have got the honest trailers for the 90s version of It. My sister texted me that she was very excited that we did that because I forgot she likes that movie.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so she was very happy with it. And all I do is try to please my big sister. I'm broken. And then yesterday's Labor Day, SJU has one of the Monday's Labor Day SJU. No worries. It's all right. I should read things before I just blindly say them out loud to people.
You put them on camera once.
See? Yesterday, so the Labor Day SJU has one of the greatest games ever conceived. That is absolutely the truth. It was the most fun thing, and it will be back.
Oh, yeah.
Also, this is not a drill. Movie fights this Saturday. 3 seats, 3 fighters, 3 judges, 5 questions. We will see you Saturday. All right, story number 2. Why do people love Pennywise? This is via the Geniuses at Fandom. So we asked, thank you, Ryan, we asked the community at Fandom Stephen King Wiki what they thought was King's most important title, and you can look for a link to Lee Singer's story looking back at King's career and going over the poll results in the description of the video. It won our poll on Fandom in a huge, huge way. Why do the people like the clown so much?
Because it's the movie with the most press going on right now.
I have to say that I don't think Spencer's entirely wrong. I mean, that's the thing, is that I think, this was asked at a time when you have it front and center of all the press coverage being like super in the cultural zeitgeist, which isn't to discount the fact that obviously this is a very significant title as far as Stephen King is concerned. I remember being afraid of the cover of the Tim Curry when I saw it at the Blockbuster when I was a kid. So, there's the element of clowns are something that I think a lot of people share a fear of.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to make that connect very quickly.
I think Tim Curry shares a lot of the credit for why it
was
and is such a huge, enduring thing, because none of the other miniseries really.
No,
a few of them, have some tangent or have small pockets of very intense fandom, but the Langoliers and the a lot of the ones that were made at the Storm of the Century in the 90s, and they don't have this kind of staying power. And I think that Tim Curry being so great in that role kept that story alive for so long, because the book is weird.
Yeah.
I haven't read all of Stephen King's book. It's very long. It kind of meanders. It's very odd. It has some weird stuff in it. I am a big fan of The Shining, personally, on a book level.
Right.
I don't think it has been adapted perfectly.
Sure.
The Kubrick movie is a great movie, but as an adaptation of the book, it's not
quite.
stellar.
Totally.
There was a miniseries of The Shining, which I don't think is as horrible as most people do, but again, not constrained by budget to everything else.
Yeah.
So I think that it really has to do with the fact that Tim Curry really knocked that role out of the park, and then the movie coming out 2 years ago that also was really good, and they cast another great actor in that role.
Yep.
Now, was this poll about best movie or just best book or best anything associated with Stephen King?
Title. Yeah.
So you include the films with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're including the...
Then the fact that The Shining didn't win means I have to fight everybody that voted for it.
So Spencer's going to track you all down one by one.
Fighting
all over the internet. Spencer Gilbert.
Clearly I'll dress up like a clown, because that's enough to scare you cowards.
I do sort of think, though, without the Tim Curry miniseries, again, you wouldn't see as much of the cultural impact that it has had. I think without that, you certainly... people would have voted more likely for The Shining or Carrie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even book-wise, I love Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
I like it because it's number one, it's shorter. Number two, it's more focused.
Yeah.
It's very. Not that I disliked it. It's just, there's so much to.
I like Rose Madder, but that will never be made into a movie because it's very weird.
Are we getting another The Stand? Are they going to do The Stand again?
I think so.
They should give that another swing.
I think we're doing another.
Wasn't
they're doing a show, says Joe.
TV miniseries or
was
a movie? Or did I just remember the book coming out?
You might have just remembered
I may just remember the book
out.
coming out, yeah.
It's a weird... this is one thing, before we get into, we have a really fun thing we're going to do. There is a moment in that It miniseries, when we were doing it for the Honest trailer, that I think I rewound in the room about 5 times because I couldn't stop laughing. And it's that moment where grown-up Bev and Ben are making out in the upstairs, and then he looks down the mirror and she's wearing clown pants.
Yep.
And I don't know why that's the funniest thing I've ever seen, but it's the funniest thing I've ever... I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done with this.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got a game that we're going to play.
Oh, boy.
With all of this Pennywise talk, and Halloween season is officially starting. It is time to find out where everyone's clown loyalty lies with the first annual SJU Spooky Clown Draft. Ooh. So right here now, we are going to draft our squads of unsettling clowns. And the way that... And so this is... I've never actually run a draft before, so this is going to be great. The order is going to be determined by best clown sound as determined by Ryan.
Oh my God, what?
So I will start first with my clown sound.
What? Okay, I'm not the judge.
Okay. That's not.
What clown was that?
It's a clown
Ryan
before
liked
it
it.
murders you.
Oh, like a murder clown. Okay.
Got it.
And then it stabs you. All right. Spencer?
I mean, I think clown sound. I think something like a. It's a slide whistle.
That's a good slide whistle.
Okay.
All right. I think mine's just going to be a bad impression of the Krusty the Clown laugh because I've just heard it on the freaking ride at Universal so many times. It's like a.
Ooh, that's creepy.
That's great.
Yeah.
Unsettling.
Thank you. That was good, man.
That's great.
That's really
That's
good.
great.
That's
So we go Emma, Dan, Spencer, Danielle.
Great.
All right. Oh, I get to pick first.
Pick your clown.
You get to pick your clown.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pennywise Tim Curry. We're just. I think he's getting his due. So.
Okay.
Alrighty.
all right. So Emma goes with Pennywise. I take draft. I've just got done with my actual fantasy draft. I take this very seriously, so I apologize up front. Okay. Clown Squad. You got to roll deep, and you got to have.
Yeah. You gotta have a balanced
You got to
clown
have
team.
a balanced clown team. I am taking Jack Nicholson.
Ooh, good
He's a
pick.
chemist. He's got a big skill set. So I'm gonna go. I love Heath Ledger Joker, but if
Yeah.
I'm building a squad, I'm not taking Jared Leto.
No.
I'm taking
No.
Jack Nicholson
Pass.
Joker. I'm taking Joker Jack Nicholson first pick
Okay.
on my team.
Fair enough. Well, I'm not seeing John Wayne Gacy on here, so I'm gonna go with. How do I choose between Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope? Insane Clown Posse. I'm upset I can't take the posse. Can I take the posse? The
No.
Insane Clown Posse?
You can't draft
No.
the entire Dallas
can't
Cowboys
have
on doing things.
Fine. Violent J of the Insane
you took
Clown
mine.
Posse.
You totally took my first
Amazing.
Let me
round.
unite the posse, Danielle. Don't steal it.
All right. Well, I was gonna pick Violent J because I feel like you always need some. You need some levity. You need some hatchets. But since I'm not able to get that, then I will go with. Ooh, the scariest clown, the clown that probably turned me against all clowns forever, and that is the clown from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That is the
That's a
clown
good
that
pick,
made it
good
so I
pick.
hate clowns forever.
All right. Clown from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Okay.
Yeah. So now it goes back to Spencer.
Now it's
Oh, I get
It's a snake
No.
draft.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
then
it's
I
a
go
snake
again.
draft.
Oh, great,
Okay.
great.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. Danielle
you
goes
pick
twice,
again.
and then
I
it goes
pick
back to
again,
Spencer, yes.
Okay, so next, let's get some diversity in here, some forced diversity. I'm going to go with Homie the Clown from Living Color, because everyone needs laughs.
But he's not. He's mostly there to not play that.
He is mostly. See, we already have a catchphrase. We can put it on all our clown merch.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
Well, in that case, I will unite the clowns. I'm taking Shaggy 2 Dope to pair with Violent J. Spencer's got a posse.
Spencer's literally just creating the Insane Clown Posse.
I am begging you, Spencer. I don't want to put my thumb on the scale, but if he's available, I am begging you to take Jared Leto with you next week. Okay.
Yes,
We are
please.
damaged.
Please, you have
I mean, I can't believe he fell to me, but I'm going to take Bill Skarsgård Pennywise. I think that's a good value late in the second round. I'm taking Skarsgård Pennywise.
I'm going to take what I truly find to be the most terrifying clown of all, and that is Jack, the mascot for Jack in the Box.
oh.
Is he a clown?
Listen,
I guess he's on the list,
According to
but-
Clownpedia, he is on the list.
Playing fast and loose with the definition of clown.
And also,
Please visit Fandom's
here's the
Clownpedia
thing.
to follow along.
And here's the thing is that Jack is a great pick, though, because it's like he's terrifying, but also he's going to be able to provide
God.
food to the squad.
yeah.
One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah.
I think Jack is more of like a sardonic,
Yeah.
raconteur.
Yeah.
He's also a dad.
Yeah,
He's just got a family.
Listen, I'm trying to bring some balance to this squad
That's
here.
fair. That is fair.
Fair enough.
So you get a second pick.
And then it's me again. So listen, we can't have a squad of all dudes. So I'm gonna go animated series Harley Quinn.
Animated Harley.
Yeah.
Animated Harley.
Yeah. This is definitely, my squad is definitely turning into like, we're sympathetic clowns. Like, there's like a level of, we sympathize with this team. The working class
This is real
clowns.
boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I've got chemistry. with the Jack Nicholson Joker. I've got a lot of menace and supernatural ability with the Pennywise. I need some business acumen, and I'm going with, I did not originate this joke. I've seen it a few times this week, but I'm going with the clown that has the highest body count of any of these, Ronald McDonald.
That was my next pick.
I'm taking Ronald McDonald.
All the fast food icons.
I mean, just really business acumen, and he'll kill you in a sneaky, slow way.
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald is my third pick.
Killing you with
Spencer.
deliciousness.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take Jared Leto. Thank you, Dan, for rounding out my
Fago
squad.
for this?
There is not enough Fago in the world to quench the thirst of my clown squad. He's damaged. He could be in ICP. We don't know. 30 Seconds to Mars could be opening for them right now. I have no idea.
That's fair. All right. I'm going to go on brand, and I am going to draft Doink the Clown for my next. I got to get...
Doink's a creepy clown wrestler.
Yes, creepy clown wrestler. So he can do like the suplexes. He looks like that. At one point, as Joe pointed out, he was wrestling under his own name, but still wearing like the clown makeup, but then dressed like Eddie Furlong in Terminator 2 as a grown man. It's very upsetting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very upsetting. Oh, do I go again?
Go again.
That's right. All right, so I've done that. I am going to next go with... I'm going with that Mark Hamill Joker. That
was good value. I was hoping he'd still be there.
Good value.
Came back around.
Yeah, I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So mine's all about synergies. You know, you got to create. Sometimes this whole is greater than its parts. So to round out my gathering, I am pairing with Jared Leto.
Are we doing 4 rounds or 5?
We'll do 4.
Yeah, I think I'm taking
We'll do 5. We'll do 5.
Harley Quinn with Jared Leto and Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. We got ourselves
There
a
you
gathering.
go. You got to gather.
Everyone's coming to gather with them juggalos. That is great.
I love my team. I'm done. I don't even need a 5th.
Stan's pick.
I feel like Ronald. I get Ronald. I take this very, very seriously. I feel like we need charisma. We need charisma on my team. That's why I'm going with Bozo the Clown.
Oh, good pick.
We're gonna be throwing ping pong balls into buckets. No one else remembers Bozo. Okay, that's fine. Beloved of children around. Yeah, Bozo. Anyone else? No. Okay.
No.
Listen, I'm really keeping with my like working class clowns of questionable morals theme here, and also questionably clowns. I'm gonna go with Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons.
All right.
Just rounding it out.
He's very not blue collar. I hate to say, but he is like an erudite, the intellectual man turned clown.
But listen, I need that though on my team to balance it out.
Okay.
And he has been to prison.
He has been to prison. I'm looking for criminal records, like people that aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
He's got a record for sure.
That's true. All right. Is it me?
No, it would be Emma. If we're doing one more round, it'd be one more pick apiece.
Oh, I get one more pick. Let's see. I think that we just truly need. I think we need a little charisma on this team as well. So I'm gonna take it all the way back to the '60s Batman series and go Cesar Romero Joker.
He was up to no good.
He's not shaving that mustache. No, thank you.
That's a great image.
That's amazing. All right, I have one left. Now, see, I love Heath Ledger Joker, and if it was just in a vacuum, I would take Heath Ledger Joker. But this is about building a team. He's an anarchist.
Yeah, he doesn't play well with others.
He doesn't play well with others, and so I feel like he's best on his own, just out in the wild. So I'm not going to take Heath Ledger Joker. While I love him, I feel like this is got to be a power team. And so Pennywise is brute strength, is brutal, but I'm going to go with like really just like hardcore down and dirty grittiness, and I'm going to draft Captain Spaulding from House of a Thousand Corpses and the Devil's Rejects with my final pick. I'm going for just
brute force,
real menace and not fake menace like Spencer's team, which is just the gathering of the Juggalos. That's all it is.
Would you rather be in 1,000 Corpses or would you rather be at the gathering? I'll take my chances with the corpses.
That's a legitimate question. I don't know.
Well, I think that the theme of my team isn't necessarily menace. It is menace, but it's the type of menace that's like like a tribal tattoo on a vape pen.
Yes.
It's like it's trying so hard, and I think nowhere was that more evident than. Was it John Leguizamo's Violator from the Spawn films?
Yes, that is who has to be on your team.
That man ate a pizza slice with live maggots on it for your entertainment. Yeah. So he, I think, has that kind of edgy comedy where like he'll just scream slurs at you and then complain that you've been triggered. That will really round out my squad.
Yeah, that's a good squad. All right. So I am going to go with, again, I think this is on brand for my team. I'm going to go with Buffo, the world's strongest clown.
Who's that?
I have no idea. But I looked up a photo of him, and he looks like he's just a dude that flexes.
I'm sorry.
And he has a truck.
Does he?
Wow.
Is that okay? Is that like his RV situation that's happening there? Okay, cool.
Should I call the number on the van?
Yeah, I can't guarantee that he lives in there, but there's a good chance.
That's how you summon. This is the beginning of every horror movie, Spencer. Don't call the number. He's gonna pop up like and murder you. Don't
Personal
stop
business,
it.
Dan.
He did it, not me. Buffo. Curse him.
No, he's really calling it.
Disconnected.
Yeah, that's what he wants you to think. So when you take a shower, you're not looking for him on the other side of the shower curtain. But he's going to be there.
Flexing.
But not behind the shower curtain. He's going to be behind the door. You're going to pull the shower curtain and he's not going to be there.
He's going to be asking if he can take a hot shower because he lives in a van.
All right, so want to go ahead and read our teams out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Emma, would you?
Yes, I have Tim Curry Pennywise. I have got Jack, the beloved mascot of Jack in the Box. I have got Batman the Animated Series, Harley Quinn, Sideshow Bob, and Cesar Romero's Joker.
Wow, fun squad.
Yeah, it's a good squad.
Yeah.
Got some balance.
Mine is Jack Nicholson's Joker from Batman 1989. I also have Pennywise from the new It film franchise, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. I have Ronald McDonald, beloved corporate mascot, Bozo the Clown, everyone's favorite regionally syndicated clown, and Captain Spaulding from the Mind of Rob Zombie.
Oh, my squad. Oh, no. Everyone got each other a used condom for Christmas. It's Violent J. It's Shaggy 2 Dope. It's Jared Leto. It's Harley Quinn. And it's the Violator.
Oh, my God. All right. And I'm rounding mine out. Oh, that's a good squad. I've got the clown from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I've got Mark Hamill's Joker. I have Homie D Clown. I have Doink the Clown. And Buffo, the world's strongest, saddest clown. And there we go. That is our clown draft.
All right.
Bravo.
Woo! Well done. We will be doing this again next year. I'm very excited for that. All right. And speaking of things that may be coming back, nailed it. We have got Saved by the Back to the Max. Yay!
Killed it.
During a recent panel at Fan Expo Canada, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Mario Lopez, and Elizabeth Berkley discussed the possibility of a Saved by the Bell revival. Said Lopez, obviously we couldn't be in high school still. Why the obviously? So you'd have to be creative with the premise, but it's fun to think about, and who knows? Never say never. Added Gosselaar, there's talks. There's always talks. He sounds so tired right there.
I know.
Poor MPG.
he's go be on Mixed-ish. You'll be fine. And Berkeley says a reunion or revival has to be done right. Here's the thing. Now every familiar IP is coming back. Does it seem inevitable, and do we want it?
Yes and no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I stand.
Right? You can't bring back everyone. Dustin Diamond is no longer allowed in the Max.
Yeah.
None of those people are going to work with Dustin Diamond again. That is just a smooth fact.
Yeah, and I mean, it's weird because it's like, yeah, they got Gosselaar and Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley there, but the cast is kind of scattered to the wind in varying degrees, and I don't listen. I'm the guy who saw those pictures, and that middle picture, I'm like, oh, that was the episode where Screech's mom went out of town, and the boys were dancing with Barbara Ann, and they broke her prized Elvis bust, and then they had to figure out how to fix it. Like,
I have every episode memorized.
Yes, I know the show. I don't need to see everything come back. I love Saved by the Bell. I really do. It's terrible. It doesn't hold up.
No.
It's a sitcom.
It's a teen sitcom from the 90s. Kids almost. But I don't. No, I don't want to. I don't want to see it. Honestly, I just. It's not like even 90210 is like everyone kind of stuck around a little bit in show business more or less, but it's like the whole Dustin Diamond thing.
Yeah, Lark Voorhees is like no longer. She's like writing.
Oh yeah,
like Lark Voorhees. It's just been like it's kind of weird. And I just no.
They could do a movie like a Romeo and Michelle high school reunion movie. But I think that asking us to get back involved in like a weekly, like some contrived, we're all undercover journalists reporting on what high school's like today. Let's all go back. No.
And also, like, you can see Mr. Belding if you come to LA anytime. He hosts a karaoke night.
He does.
Like,
100%.
Perfect.
That's very true.
I've seen him many times.
I think that because I'm with you, Dan, like you were saying, and Danielle, that like there's no way you're gonna get everybody. So I agree it could be a movie. If they were gonna do a series, then it would have to be like a new class, not to be confused with the actual about the new class.
Yeah.
It could be their kids. It could be their children.
Could be, exactly. And it could be about kids, and then it's like, Jesse and AC Slater are like, it's like.
They're going through a messy divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
There is one scenario where I would greenlight it.
Okay.
It's like an action thriller series where they're trying to save Stacey Carosi from the Church of Scientology. It's like a mix of Leah Remini's actual life and Stacey Carosi from the show.
Leah would do it. Pick up the phone, Leah, when that phone rings. All right.
It'd be interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did I say forbidden word? I've never said anything that made people go like, ooh.
Oh, no.
I know, but it's a fun
it.
feeling, right? When you say something and the whole panel just tightens up. It's enjoyable.
No, it's great.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, so there we go. We've had some Saved by the Bell thoughts. We got down with Clown Town. Any final thoughts before we say adieu?
No.
All righty.
No. Left it all on the table today.
We really did. We gave it all up.
Yeah.
We didn't hold anything back. It Chapter 2 opens this weekend on our own. Kim Taylor Foster spoke to the director of the film. So look at that with your eyes, and we will see you tomorrow.
For 27 years, I dreamt of you. I craved you. I missed you.
Okay, Andy, I'm from Fandom. We have a huge community of horror fans, Stephen King fans. So we're currently trying to discern the most important Stephen King title, and we've polled the community. Of all of Stephen King's titles, novels, what do you think?
What are they saying?
What do you think they've said?
What are they saying? What are they saying?
Tell me what you think's come out at number one, according to
Well, it, of course.
You're correct. I mean, I kind of set that up, but
And Pet Sematary.
that hasn't had that many votes.
What?
Well, It is the first, and then
In general, yeah.
The Shining comes second, and
Okay.
Pet Sematary figures in other at
Well,
5%. Is that surprising to you?
Stephen King has such an extensive work. It's okay that people have like different favorites. It depends so much on how each work impacted you at what age and stuff. For me, like Pet Sematary was one of the first Stephen King that I read, and it just completely blew my mind. Nothing had the impact that Pet Sematary had, except for it.
What was it about Pet Sematary?
The grief and the journey of the character, tempted by the possibility of like bringing someone back by grief. It's a story about grief,
Why do you think so many people read Stephen King so young?
I assume that this has been like a thought of me, like especially like rereading it, that reflection he has about childhood that he has in many other works, but he more than anyone probably values the beautiful things, all the treasures that we have during childhood that just get lost when we become adults. It is a love letter to childhood. It's about the end of childhood, and that's why he antagonizes childhood and adulthood, because adulthood is almost like a monster that devours childhood in a way. And I think it's ultimately a reflection about being an artist, because as an artist you need like all those amazing traits that you have naturally in childhood, like the power of imagination. And that's, I think Stephen King considers himself someone that has the child with him, or at least he doesn't want the child to die. because he knows that when childhood ends, a lot of things end with it.
You worked with him on this film. Did he talk to you about his feelings towards it?
I did want to keep Stephen King in the loop of what we were doing, and he, on his side, he didn't want to interfere also with the adaptation. He understands more than anyone what an adaptation is, and he embraces the fact that it's a different thing that can actually surprise him, you know, as long as it stays true to the soul and the spirit of his work. He doesn't mind that there's like departures here and there.
Just finally, would you want to revisit the world of it? And if so, why?
Well, it's very tempting, of course, because, Stephen King presents a huge mythology. It's not only about the losers versus Pennywise. There's a mythology that works actually for the story that he's telling, which is the loser's journey. But, exploring that mythology is very tempting, of course. I can't lie.
Thank you.
Hello,